It's time once again for a couple of cold ones with Corey and the Silver Surfer, who I used to call the Bronze Surfer, but only because he's not very silver. Because I didn't know you. A lot of people don't know you. You are a black man.
Am I? Yeah, I didn't know that.
I'm going to tell you are. Yes, I'm telling you are. You don't believe me? Look in the mirror now. You gonna look in the mirror and be like, damn, I am black. What the fuck? No, because everybody on the site. Well, look, at least me. I know I'm kind of profiling your picture on the site, which is a Silver Surfer. I'm thinking, oh, this is a white kid. This is a white 17-year-old kid. Turns out you're like a grown ass black man.
Surprise!
It's like somebody wielding a cake and you popped out of it. Surprise!
I'm probably losing all my friends now. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, everybody's like, he's black. Oh, I can't talk to him no more. Nah, it's I didn't mean to bust you like that, man. But I have to say, I was surprised. I was actually very surprised to see that. For you to tell me that, because I haven't really seen what you look like yet. But anyway, I want to welcome you to a couple of cold ones. I've been having some guest spots on every week, and it's your turn right now. How you doing, man?
Well, I'm doing fine. I hope I can live up to the standards of this high quality programming.
You give me more credit than I deserve. Ain't nothing quality about this.
No, this is a reason why this is the #1 podcast on this site. I mean, I know other people trying to...
Because there's only 2 of them.
Knock you down to that #1 spot. I heard their podcast yesterday. They trying to knock you down, but it ain't working like that.
Okay, there's only 2 podcasts on here. It ain't hard to do. It ain't like... I mean, and this one was the first one. So, but, hey, you know what? I'll take what I can get. So anyway, now you know how this show goes. We take...
Yes.
Okay, at the beginning of the show... We do the top 5 for the week. Then we get into some subjects in the middle of the show. And then we go on to read some email. And we just kind of bullshit through the whole thing. We just kind of see how things go. I mean, a lot of people say, man, you get into a lot of non sequiturs and you go into like a lot of long tangents. I mean, it's supposed to be a conversation. I mean, we got a format, but I just like talking to people. And that's going to happen here. Yeah, okay. Just letting you know.
Listen, I got to be honest before we get into this. I'm not really an internet person, but for some reason, this site just... It speaks to me. It does. You've done good work.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And I think one of the reasons why this site works is because of stuff like this. I mean, we're just average guys talking about stuff like average people do. I'm not trying to come across as a professional. This is me. You get me, okay? God damn it, this is me. So, I really appreciate everybody on the site who comes, and I appreciate you, Surfer. That's why it's my pleasure to have you here. So, with that said, enough stroking my own self, enough kissing ass and all that kind of stuff. So, let's go ahead and get into the top 5. Now, I have people saying this. Carlisle started this whole tradition of people singing the number. So, you are going to do this too, whether you like it or not.
All right.
So, we're going to start out with number 5. Go ahead and give it to me.
Number 5.
You sound like you was singing some Russian song. Number 5. Okay, very good. I felt that. Okay, number 5 was Traitor with Don Cheadle, and this was sort of a espionage action thriller where he plays a guy. The reason why they call it Traitor is because we don't know what side he's on. He could be an American working for the CIA.
He's a double agent.
He's a double agent. He could be working for America, or he could actually be working for a Muslim organization trying to pull off one of the biggest jihads since 9/11. That was a good movie too, I have to admit.
I stayed on the edge of my seat like the whole time. You was like, you didn't know, and you thought it was going to end tragic, you know.
Well, that's the thing about the movie. And if you heard our review, it's a slow movie, but once they show you where everything goes and they give you this great ending, then it's like, okay, not every movie needs to be fast paced or just quick cuts and whatnot. I mean, some movies need to be methodical and take their time, especially if they give you a payoff.
They did miss out. Like, it was a couple scenes where he kicked a couple people's asses. It was like, I wanted to see more of that. You know, I thought he was, the commercials say this year's Born Identity. But so I thought he was going to be like kicking people in their faces throughout the movie. But no, it's a real good thriller.
Yeah, it was almost like the commercials told you, Don Cheadle, this Negro is going to be this season's Black Jason Bourne. And I'm like, So that's what I was kind of expecting. So you're right. When I saw the movie, I was like, well, I'm not getting the full action like the Bourne Identity. But once I saw what they were doing, I said, you know what? It's not just enough for them to be an action film. This is sort of a smart action film. It's a very well written story. If you don't mind waiting, so I'm just glad the movie came in number 5 because I didn't actually think it was going to do that well.
And it doesn't preach to you as to like who's right or who's wrong. As far as this whole, war on terror and stuff, it don't try to knock you over the head like good guys, bad guys. It lets you decide like who this guy is as you see the plots.
Well, the cool thing about the movie is that they didn't look down on Islam, the Muslim religion. I mean, I'm one of those guys who look. People already know right now. I'm an atheist. I don't have any preference towards any religion, but I think all religions should be respected equally. And this movie, for a mainstream movie that does that, I was thinking that's pretty good because you have an action hero who is pretty much a Muslim, and they actually treated that with respect. So anyway, I thought that's a lot of good reasons why this movie I think should be probably even more successful than it was being in the top 5. But I'm happy it is where it is. Anyway, let's go on to that's your cue, by the way, to saying number.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Number 4, that cool, refreshing drink.
I like that. You added more to it. You brought the soul in, and then you said, "Hey, I'm gonna add my own lyrics to it." Sound like you're going on a roller coaster ride with that number 4. Anyway, number 4 is a movie that was actually number 2 last week, which is The House Bunny, which has fine ass Anna Faris. Starring as a Playboy bunny who gets kicked out of the mansion and goes into the real world. Oh, I forgot to mention that Traitor made $7.9 million for its debut. I don't know how good that is, but
it's not playing in as many theaters as some of these other movies are, but so that probably played into how much it made. You got, if you're not in 3,000 theaters or more.
Yeah, you're just not going to rake it in.
Right.
Yeah. Well, so The House Bunny, on the other hand, made $8.3 million with a cumulative gross so far of 27.9. So that movie actually did, man. The House Bunny did a lot better than I thought it would. That's a movie that I thought was just going to be considered a piece of shit, get buried in maybe come in at number 10, 11, and it actually did pretty well. And actually, when I saw the movie, I said, hey, I think it's kind of funny too.
Yeah, and that girl must have did a lot of Pilates to get that kind of shape to do that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. One of the main reasons I like this movie is just looking at Anna Faris's ass, and I mean the girl is hot. All right, I don't know what she did.
Now we gotta disagree. Even though she looked good, I thought her ass was kind of flat. But
I don't ask for much these days, but apparently so. But all I'm looking at is that there's one scene where she has a towel around her waist, and you saw a little bit of her ass crack, and it looks like she's got a little bit of a bump there for the towel to rest up on. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to bend her over and iron my shirt on her or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? She's got a little something. But I mean, you asked me earlier. You said, did she get some work done? And I have to admit, going back and looking at those scary movies, the 2 that she was in. I was like, yeah, dude. She looks different. It could be the hair. She looked more
plain in those movies. Now it's like either they slapped a ton of makeup on her or she got something done. Because she was looking a lot prettier than not that she didn't look good before, but.
No. As a matter of fact, I mean, she looked perfectly fine. She looked like that kind of girl that wasn't over glamorized, and she was perfectly fine. But I'm just wondering, somebody tell me, did she get a nose job or something? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it could just be the bleached hair or something. I don't know. But anyway, the girl is hot, and I'm just because of that, being the shallow person that I am, I'm glad that the movie came in number 4 and has had somewhat of a semi-successful run. All right, so that brings.
What are the nerdy girls thought looked hot?
What? Oh, the nerdy girls in the movie. Once they turned them all into hot girls, I thought that they were all hot. Even that big old lumberjack looking bitch, I thought they, I thought they all looked kind of good. But like I said, I don't have so much these days. Yeah, you could put, as a matter, speaking of lumberjacks, you could put a wig on a piece of log, and I'd be like, man, that girl is hot right there. So I'm just saying. Let's go ahead and move on to number
3.
There you go. That's the first time we actually had somebody scratch it. I like that. I like that little extra, that little creativity you brought to it. And the number 3 movie, of course, is The Dark Knight.
Which finally hit that 500 million plateau.
Last week and you know what? It was number 4 last week, but it moved up again to number 3. Brought in $8.8 million last week, but it's at the point now where it has a total gross of $502.4 million, making it not bringing in inflation, making it the second highest grossing movie in Hollywood history.
Domestically,
yes. Thank you.
Yes.
So, and what can we say about it? We said this every week. It's not going to beat Titanic. Titanic had a bunch of girls apparently with rich parents, and they went to see that movie over and over again.
Wow.
And it was a different period too when Titanic was released. Different business model.
Well, Titanic lasted 4 months in the theater, and movies today, it's 6 months and you're out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
one.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This one will probably last a little longer than the average movie, but. Most movies like Iron Man, it was gone. Like it opened like early May, mid-June, it was gone.
Yeah, no, and that's we got, like I said, we got to look at the business model. I mean, movies, you're right. When they come in, they're gone pretty quick. Right now we had I think you told me that E.T. lasted something like 9 years in the theater.
21 weeks.
21 weeks.
That's the record. 21 weeks at number 1.
Nice. And so, but we're not going to see that again these days because we have home distribution for movies that make them go away pretty quick because people want to make that money on DVD. I think even at the time we didn't have the quick home home distribution turnaround for movies like we do now. So yeah, it's a different time. It's going to make it hard to beat any kind of record out there, much less something like Titanic. So, but hey, Batman did very well. Good for that movie. Happy to see it do the business that it did.
I heard a rumor.
What?
That, Batman's supposed to get re-released around the award season. They're thinking that this movie's going to get some nominations. So that might be the opportunity then to push this past Titanic.
Hey, where did you hear that rumor?
I was reading. No, I think I saw it on dailies.
Oh, okay. That would be, man. That wouldn't be a smart. That would be a smart thing. I mean, they've made so much money. Can you imagine pulling it out of theaters? Maybe, I don't know, maybe they could do something to make people want to go back to the theater and see it. Maybe they could add an extra scene or two and say, hey, this is the cut you haven't seen before, only in theaters. Go see The Dark Knight. But then again, that might be considered a different movie if they do that. So, but who knows, man? I mean, I think that would be a smart thing, especially around Oscar time, since they want Heath Ledger to get a posthumous Academy Award, at least Academy Award nomination. And some people even saying he'll win. So let's go ahead and move on to...
Okay, how I'm going to do this?
Take your time, please. I don't want you to hurt yourself. Do it right. I can wait. I'm on just...
Number 2.
Damn, somebody push you off a cliff? Number 2. I was expecting to hear like, number 2. So, but
what's number 2? Riddick AD?
I believe number 2 is Babylon AD. That's my Vin Diesel impression. Vin Diesel is back with another science fiction movie where he plays a badass. Yeah, this is almost like Riddick, man. I mean, come on. Except he ain't wearing shades in this. So it's that brought in $9.7 million, and that's for its debut. The movie had a budget of $70 million. So I'm gonna safely say, I'm going to say this, that it was a sort of a box office failure.
Now, you think this movie was just dumped, right?
Yeah, I think it was dumped. It's August, and it was just dumped.
I don't understand it, because with the strike they had, there's going to be like a big gap of missing movies next year. And they couldn't find a spot for it next year? where maybe people would say, "Oh, okay, let me go see it."
I don't know. I mean, of course they had that whole look. Everybody's talking about how Fox doesn't. They're not exactly the smartest company in the world, and then we have this whole thing of the director talking about Babylon AD, how he's disappointed with the cut of the movie. There's some stuff missing, and
I never saw a director ever do that before a movie came out. It stinks.
Yeah, I know. You're talking about my movie. It's like, man, this is my movie. I'm telling you, don't go see that shit.
Even you never see Uwe Ball come out and say my movies are terrible. He'd
No,
be like, man, I'm the best filmmaker out there. Fuck you, motherfucker.
of course, Uwe Boll come out. Uwe Boll's the notorious video game director who people can't stand. But Uwe Boll would just say, I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. He came out in a video and just said, I'm the fucking genius. And I was like, okay, if you come out that strong and say so, I guess you are, sir. You got it. But no, this director came out and said, yeah, Babylon AD, I did it. I'm very satisfied with working with Fox. I don't like the movie, and he said, I'm disappointed with the cut. So look, it probably had a lot of controversy behind it. They just said, let's just go ahead.
Well, somebody at Fox must have just made this motherfucker mad. He probably said, fuck this. I ain't promoting shit for y'all motherfuckers. You on your own.
Yeah, somebody didn't put the red M&Ms in his bowl or something. I mean, yeah, he's mad. I mean, he probably, and see, 20th Century Fox, this is probably one of the smart things that they did. They probably just said, you know something, dump this motherfucker right now. We don't want to deal with it. This director don't like it, and we ain't crazy about it. Just get on out of here. So they just probably dumped the movie. I mean, it's Labor Day weekend. You said yourself a little bit earlier that people should be they're out doing recreational things at the beach, doing things out in the sun. So hey.
Oh, yeah, you gotta get that holiday in before school starts and
people evacuating hurricanes. You know what I mean? So ain't nobody worried about a movie.
Man, I'm praying for those people. You get affected by hurricanes where you at?
No. You know what? Tell you what. We'll talk about this after we get through with the top 5 here. But no, we're not yet. But thank you for asking. But I do want to address that. And then, okay. Speaking of finishing this up, give me the last one. You can do this.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Number one. One.
Is that the echo? Nice. Perfect, man. All right. So number 1 is, of course, Tropic Thunder for the 3rd week in a row. We've had some movies that have lasted, been number 1 for a few weeks. Iron Man. We've had, as we said, Batman, of course, The Dark Knight, and now we have Tropic Thunder. A lot of people thought the movie was going to be successful, and I'm not saying it's doing super, uber, crazy business, but I don't know if everybody thought it would be number 1 for 3 weekends.
You know what? The funny thing with Tropic Thunder is, like, the last couple of weeks, it seemed like some other movies are going to outdo it. The Friday totals come out, and it'd be like 2nd or 3rd, and then you see Sunday's total, Tropic Thunder. It's like, man... People was like, okay, I've seen this other shit. I'm going back to see Tropic Thunder.
Of course, man. Yeah, it's, I mean, it's...
I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude.
You told me that you were at first kind of upset about
I wasn't sure if I would be upset, you know, because, hey, it's one thing if you're really authentic, but... I get the point with it. These motherfuckers weren't as great of actors they thought they were. You know, so him not doing the Mr. Generic voice, it worked for this role. If he got made up and tried to do another movie like that, then I'd probably be mad.
So what you're saying is, if they cast Robert Downey Jr. as in The Color Purple or something like that, or Raising in the Sun, then we got a problem. but we got him in this movie. And you're right, it works because he's and he makes the movie. That's the thing. He makes the movie being a white actor who plays a black guy. It's an Australian playing a black guy, and it works because
he's supposed to be like the Russell Crowe.
Exactly.
That type.
He's supposed to be the Russell Crowe and intense actor. When he's not in blackface, he's out there starting fights with the press and whatnot. So, I mean, the reason why, you're right, it works for him being in blackface, and the reason why this movie is not as offensive as it potentially could have been, because a lot of people were worried about them saying retard in the movie more than they were about him being in blackface. Well, you're right. They're oblivious actors in the movie. They're oblivious actors, and they're just doing stupid things to get a role. And this is one, and it's considered, oh, this white guy went had a procedure to be black. That's kind of dumb, and they make reference to that in the movie.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but it said he got a surgical procedure.
No, that's in the trailer, man.
But then when he pulled off the wig, there was a regular skin showing through at the top around the hair, you know?
Well, I guess they didn't go that far up. I mean, maybe it was on a tan line or something. I don't know. But at first I thought you were going to say, but you mean they didn't sew that afro on his head too?
You're talking about I don't drop character until I do the DVD.
It was funny because you told me, was it you that told me that the reason why he did so well in that movie doing that character is because he watched his dad doing a black character, and I was like, what was it?
Well,
is Robert Downey Jr. I thought you were going to tell me it's Robert.
Voiceover.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
His father had to do a voiceover for a movie. The guy did the scene, but he kind of messed up his lines, so he voiced over his own voice. I don't know. They never said what movie it was, but he said he was imitating his father doing the same thing.
Okay, at first I thought you were going to tell me that Robert Downey Jr. had a black father. I thought that's what you were trying to say to me. I was like, I didn't hear shit about that.
Maybe.
I ain't seen his dad, so who knows? All I know is...
He looked too convincing once he had that makeup on, so you never know.
Well, look, all I'm saying is I laughed at that, and I'm just glad they didn't take it too far, because if Robert Downey Jr. had come on the scene with a bucket of Popeyes talking about, y'all saw, we's gonna make this Vietnam movie here now. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna burn this goddamn theater down. But they didn't do that. So I thought they'd handled the movie very well. And I'm glad it's a very hilarious movie, man. I'm glad to see it be as successful as it is. Like I said, it's pulled in so far $83.8 million. It'll hit the $100 million mark before it's over with, I'm thinking. So good for that movie. Now that's the top five. It's funny we're bringing up the hurricane because somebody brought up a point, because we want to talk about, of course, the movie that wasn't in the top five, which is Disaster Movie. That was at number 7.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah.
That motherfucking goddamn movie! I walked the fuck out. I was like, I can't take this shit no more. This bullshit.
No.
Woo!
No, man. Oh, look, what can I say about the movie that hasn't been said already? Somebody made a point, though. Somebody said, was it really cool to release a movie called Disaster Movie, knowing how shitty the movie is, too, on a weekend when there's a hurricane about to hit? And I'm thinking, you know what?
That was scheduled way before they knew this hurricane was coming.
Oh, I know that. I'm not being silly. I know but I'm just thinking, couldn't they just said, hey, maybe we need to wait an extra weekend or something? And the movie's shitty as it is. I mean, come on. I know
well, they thought, well, we got a summer blockbuster. People are stupid. They'll go out and see it. And then just the same old jokes over and over in every time they do a movie. Yeah. It's breakdancing, it's Carmen Electra, it's little midgets.
Well, I'd see. Now that brings me to a point here, man. First of all, the movie didn't do that well. Now we're all cheering because the movie didn't do that well, but I don't think they did the smartest thing in the world. One of the smart things that 20th Century Fox does do with these movies is that they release them at a time when no one has any other movies out. It's the only PG-13 movie that's really available. That wasn't the case with this. This was released, first of all, by Lionsgate, not 20th Century Fox. And second of all, there was another PG-13 movie that this was competing against, and that was Babylon AD. And as we see, Babylon AD stumped the shit out of this, even though, what the hell is that? It's like a horse trotting through there or something. What the fuck? But anyway, so we can see that Lionsgate probably didn't use as smart of a tactic for releasing this movie.
I think they wanted to be like, I think they was thinking, usually we put this movie like a year later from all these references, but we're gonna be on top of it this time. So we're gonna put it out right when everybody it's fresh in their mind. All these movies,
yeah,
they can laugh at it.
Yeah, no, they gave us time to realize how good these movies are compared to the stupid shit that they do in this film. I mean, you put a goddamn Hancock reference in the movie. And what is it? Hancock flies into a light pole and hits his head. What kind of stupid shit is that you think people gonna go out and see this movie in droves? I mean, come on, you gave us that joke in the trailer. You motherfucker. And the sad thing is, man, I really do think that these guys know what they're doing. I don't think they're idiots. I think that they know exactly what the game is. I think that they're thinking, look, we know this shit is stupid. The studios want us to do this quick. They want to make a snatch and grab money type movie. I mean, because that's what they call them, like a money grab movie. It just goes in the theater, grabs the money. It's a terrible movie that was probably shot in 2 weeks, and then they get out. And then nobody cares about any integrity at all. And I'm thinking these guys are not that dumb. They know exactly what they're doing. And I'm speaking of Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, the director and so-called writers of this movie.
And the worst joke they put in that movie was the guy waking up talking about he got to take some Ambien, and that's a reference to Heath Ledger overdosing on sleeping pills.
Now
that's bullshit, if you ask me.
No, that is bullshit. But you really believe that? Because I didn't catch that. I remember the joke.
Yes, that's what they said. That he overdosed on sleeping pills. He was having trouble sleeping. He kept taking too many of them, and so out of nowhere, the guy talking about I got to take some Ambien. Some crap he said, and you see this big, huge, oversized jar of sleeping pills, Ambien on the side, and I got sleeping pills. It don't come in that size. They was making fun of Heath Ledger dying from sleeping pills.
This isn't, you didn't read this anyway. This is something that you picked up from that, because I mean, is that true? You just caught that?
Yeah, I mean that's trust me, that's what they was referring to. These motherfuckers think everything they write is funny. So somebody need to like see these motherfuckers walking down the street, like pull the van up, put the bags over their head, and just like dump them somewhere, Central America, and just say,
"Well, man,
enough!" Like Obama said Thursday, enough.
Well, the reason I have had enough of this bullshit. No, I think the reason why I didn't think they did that. I'm trying to be quiet because I don't want my neighbor beating up on the fucking wall. I think that they had a Batman joke in there, and I was expecting them to pull out the Joker, and they didn't. I mean, and the Joker was such an easy target, but to me, it seemed like they shied away from that because, well, they didn't want to get to any controversy about disrespecting Heath Ledger. Well, but now you got me thinking.
You missed it, and nobody in the theater caught it too. While I was sitting there. Because it was one of those things, like, if you didn't realize what exactly he overdosed from, you wouldn't have caught that in the movie, you know. You just would have just said, oh, the joke that didn't work. And it didn't work, but...
Well, yeah, like any joke in that movie worked. None worked. But, I mean, that movie was a complete failure. But, I mean, that is pretty fucking insulting, man, if they did that. I mean, I hope that those guys had better sense than that. I mean, maybe it's one of those things where the ratings board missed it and said, we don't get it. I mean, maybe nobody even bothers to just look at this shit anymore. But that's really weird if they did that, especially if they didn't want to put a Joker reference in there, but they're going to make direct fun of somebody's death who's not even dead for a year. I mean, come on, man. I mean, so I don't know, man. I have to watch that again. I don't think these guys got enough balls to even try to do something like that.
I have to say there's one good thing about these shitty-ass movies that they make. At least you know they ain't writing scripts for, like, Dark Knight and Iron Man and shit. Like, could you imagine the news getting out? They doing Batman 3. They've been slated to do the script.
Okay.
You know how motherfucker...
I hear what you're saying. Now, I'm going to give these. If I was to just really desperately give these guys credit, I'm going to, and I have sort of a hopeful scenario in my head about Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer. I'm thinking that these guys are doing this for the money. They're trying to get and they got some super secret project in mind, and it's probably one of the greatest movie scripts out there. And they want to get this made, and they are paying their dues by doing this bullshit. And they're going to come out and later on even have an expose saying, yes, we knew we were doing these terrible movies. This is how the studio system worked. They were fucking us over. They were dicking us around. And this is the only way. We had to go. It's the equivalent of the stripper who has to do it for college money. You never meet that stripper, but you know it exists somewhere. The stripper that's smart enough to just strip for a little while and do it for college money. These guys are the stripper who just want to like whore themselves out for a little bit, and later on they're going to do great things. Now that's a scenario that I'm hoping.
You're so funny, Corey. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, a fella can dream, can he? So anyway, that's my thing right there.
Well, I've been looking since we're at the end of the summer. And I was looking at the top 5 movies from this summer and last summer.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, even though last summer made more money, made like $200 million more,
mm-hmm.
movies this summer was far superior than last summer. And I did like a few of the last summer movies, but when I look at crap like the Transformers, that just like that come on TV, and every time I see it, it just gets worse and worse. And you compare that to like Iron Man and Dark Knight and Wally and Hancock, it's like
it's so. I mean, I'm thinking back now to last summer. I mean, they had Spider-Man 3 and Transformers and Shrek 3, and you know what? You're right, man.
And Pirates.
And Pirates of the Caribbean. And look, I gave all those movies a matinee rating, and my whole thing was saying they kind of get you because some of these movies are visual spectacles. They're pretty cool to see on the big screen, but they're not good movies. Even Transformers, I say, hey, it's a bunch of robots. Say what you will about how the Transformers look, because I thought they looked they look great, but I didn't think they looked like the Transformers that I would like to see on the screen. I thought those movies were all dumb, man. Especially something like Spider-Man 3. I was just like, hey, I was kind of entertained by some of the visual effects, but all these movies are equally dumb. But if you need to go see them at the theater because they're summer movies, then what are you going to do?